This is Dr. Lant speaking to you from the Blue Room in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We have arrived by stages now at the third and final chapter of our trilogy on Margaret Thatcher. It is entitled Selling Trump. Hers were the glad rags indeed. Your correspondent put you inside her astonishing estate auction of December 15th, 2020. I had originally decided to write just one article about the historical phenomenon known as Mrs. Thatcher, if you were a friend, and Maggie, if you weren't. This article was, if I do say so myself, a superior version of what every self-proclaimed statesman once said, and more importantly, remember, after his always sad demise. Critics, however, would have expected it to have the necessary quota of compliments. No need to read them. As Dr. Lant's appreciation arrived yet, she always knew things like this. She was, after all, a grocer's daughter, who learned to account for every tin on the shelves, woe if even a halfpenny had gone missing. She had too little growing up to be casual about details. Details build empires and historical figures. People who fail never learn this point. Mrs. Thatcher never forgot it. The second article was a gift from Cleo, my muse, for this muse of history understands the importance of human interest vignettes to enliven text. People forget facts and mangle numbers, but they remember a good story, especially if it's a corker like the one that featured an American lad named Jeffrey and his purple rabbit, Max. For this story to be born, the newly minted Baroness had to ignore, at the unveiling of her House of Commons, July 2002, a room full of her once inseparable incense-burning Tory MPs, instead saving her kisses for Lant and Rabbit. And I do mean real kisses, not air-blown facsimiles. This startled the grandees who were present and ignored, who wondered whether Maggie had lost her marbles. What other explanation could there be for such odd behavior from the Iron Lady? But too many of these VIPs had spurned her, tossing her out of the high office of historic situation she had adored to perfection, causing her to run sobbing into the street. No lady, no woman ever forgets this, remembering that revenge is a dish best tasted cold. Besides, Lady Lant and Robert enjoyed each other's company. The Yankee visitors asked for nothing but the chance to adore her hero, while the grandees had so obviously failed to do. What's more, I was Harold Macmillan's cousin, and he had, as Prime Minister, given her first ministry in 1961, and later advised her at a crucial moment in the fight to save the Falkland Islands, 1982. And so I became the boy Maggie kissed, and not just once either. And Max Von Rabbit, too, his quantity of kisses exactly equal to mine. Thus did we surge ahead in the regard of all true and abiding Thatcherites, for she valued loyalty above all. Thus the boy kissed by the Iron Lady, and not just once either, remember, entered history as a rollicking anecdote, whilst the appeal of man and rabbit were extolled by friends, excoriated by former friends. Many people worldwide asked us about this tale, and we remained silent and smiling, our eyes cast up to heaven above, which alone holds the key to our night. And now, Article 3. The race is on to get out of the bottom. The top is high, so your roots are forgotten from the Spice Girls. Like most people, I love going to the celebrity sales at the major auction houses. And after exercising as much self-control as I can, making bids, which commit me to as little as possible. The Thatcher sale was tailor-made for my experienced panel. I knew from the opening bell that this would be quite possibly the craziest auction I had ever attended, with astronomical prices that only the out of control would pay. Are you sure I cannot tempt you, Dr. Lant? Mike Christie's reps kept saying. But tempt was as far as I got, leaving the hapless winners a certain morning after headache, which is never shared by the more cautious who don't plunge further than they should. Instead of overpriced bric-a-brac, I left with deep insight into the life and rise of one of history's recognized giants. To understand how far she went, you must know where she started. Only then can you understand the magnitude of her achievement. An early photograph pictures her as a soft-faced, slack-bodied matron of the dialect that made her sound both uneducated and unintelligent at the same time. She took lessons to obliterate where she had come from in favor of where she was going. Most people would have given up in the face of so little to work with, but she was not most people, even from the start. Bit by bit, she realized with hard work and commitment she could grow, she could rise, she could conquer, she could succeed, she could astonish, and maybe with a little luck, she could become eternal. Growth was job one. If it wasn't about growth, she got rid of it. She looked in the mirror and asked, "Who do you think you are? Think you are." I said, "Who? Some kind of superstar?" That's from the Spice Girls. Shay Thatcher. When you attend a celebrity or house auction, you get inside a world you would never see in life. Depending on the particular interest of the subject, you get into such personal space as kitchen, bedroom, dining room, and den. It's all there, everything that shows you who the subject is, how she lived, and what she valued. It's like being an approved peeping Tom, not just urged but encouraged to see, consider, touch, and even buy items of intimacy and personal importance. The Thatcher sale opens the door to a woman who was private to a degree. Because she was the first woman prime minister, this is the first such sale. But interestingly enough, this is the first such sale for any prime minister at all. She has set the pace here as she so often set it in any endeavor. However, because most ministers, prime or otherwise, are gray, rather dull figures, for all the history they may make, don't expect to see a steady strip of such sales in the years ahead. Even her political peers don't have Thatcher's star power, and that is crucial. Star duds make star sales. All celebrity sales are divided into the usual categories: memorabilia, autographed items, awards and citations, furniture, soft furnishings, jewelry ranging from costume to eye-popping bling, books, and clothes. Thatcher had all these, but the focus was on her clothes and accessories. In other words, when Mrs. Thatcher let us in, it was into her closets. Her little secret was that she loved clothes of taste, quality, and what we might call executive sex appeal. The dowdy girl of yore detested being grabbed, and the first chance she got, she went shopping. Her famous handbags at the top of the list. Drab, never again. The style she evolved was not just executive, however, it was royal. She knew it, and so did Elizabeth of England, who spent the Thatcher years reminding the world that it was she who reigned in hearts and minds and closets. This Thatcher's retort was always in fabric, and it was always stylish and uppity. Roofed by the Victoria and Albert. Prime examples of such clothes, of course, worn by such a figure, should have gone to the nation, to the Victoria and Albert Museum. But here there was some kerfuffle of the he said, she said variety. Thatcher's kin say they offered gems from her collection. The museum says no way. Either way, a prime chance for preserving clothes that help rule a nation, and so provide political as well as sartorial marvels, was lost. The truth is, the haughty museum officials sniffed at Thatcher and her successes and were glad to trip her and her place in the history of threads. It's another annoyance from the establishment which obstructed the lady whenever they thought they could get away. It irked, of course, but her motto was known illegitimately carboradment: don't let the bastards get you down. And so the fast-moving circus that was her estate sale moved to Christie's, the arts people. All that was missing was the Spice Girls anthem, "Who Do You Think You Are?" from 1996. I'm adding it now. You can find it in any search engine. You've got to swing it, shake it, move it, make it. Who do you think you are? Trust it, use it, prove it, groove it. Show me how good you are. Dead or alive, Baroness Thatcher of Castellan, Lady Garter, Order of Merit, FRS, was good, so good she had to turn an expected $500,000 in auction receipts into 5 lip-smacking millions. No wonder smart, successful folks like Jerry Callowell liked Mrs. Thatcher, calling her the original Spice Girl. It was probably true, and certainly ticked off a legion of Hallowell's dull, politically correct fans. What was Jerry talking about anyway? Wasn't girls just want to have fun her motto and theme song? It most assuredly was. For after all, being Prime Minister and bossing the boys around was the most fun of all. And no one knew it better than Mrs. Thatcher, the lady who knew just the right boy and rabbit to kiss and did. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. On behalf of Max, always an enjoyable companion, myself, Patrice Porter, who's handled the administration. We've enjoyed our time with you and hope you will have enjoyed what we've told you. History should be accessible to the people. And these programs and articles are written not for specialists. Take the information of specialized interest and turn it into information that you can sit there profitably and listen to if you have no specialist information whatsoever. So thank you very much for advancing our cause of history. Thank you very much for listening. And as always, come back. You'll see our programs all over the internet. We're talking to you. This is Dr. Jeffrey Lant, signing off.